Hi, it's Kat. Welcome back to my studio. I didn't want to make a video today because I have this pimple on my face and it's really bothering me. So instead of making the video right when I woke up, I just spent half an hour poking and picking at it and making it worse. Maybe I'll just get on with the video now. Today, I want to finish the motherboard project. So this is a computer that I took apart. It's the motherboard. I painted one side of it white. I took pictures of it, and now the other side of it, I'm gonna be presenting in a frame, and the frame and the mat board I've painted black. So let me show you what I have here today. The next step in the motherboard project is going to be figuring out a way to frame the motherboard in the frame. We haven't looked a lot at this side, but this is the actual side that I'm framing, and I've been showing more of this side. So the next thing that we have to do is find a way to keep this connected on here. So that is a sneak peek at what it's going to look like. I think it looks way better than the last one. I'm glad that it fell apart and didn't work, so that I can continue to improve it. The cardboard that I was keeping this on also turned out pretty cool. I like how the lines look. While I was peeling off the tape, some of it ripped off in strips, and I kind of made a collage. So this is the cardboard that just got paint on it mixed with some of the tape. So just a little bonus project that came out of this. Here's the motherboard that I painted white and I took some pictures with. The other side is, I think it's really cool. It reminds me of a Renaissance painting of a portrait, something similar to the Mona Lisa, a religious portraiture of the Virgin Mary. There are these holes that I want to put little lights behind. This is battery operated LED lights. So it will be, all of the holes will be kind of lit up. So before we frame it, I just want to make sure that there's no dust particles or anything below this. When I used to work in framing, that was one of my pet peeves, was you'd get it all in and be done and tape it, and then you'd flip it over and there'd be one particle of dust underneath and you'd have to take it all apart. So the main challenge today finishing this motherboard project is finding a way to get this to stay. I think what I'm going to do is tape it all up with white duct tape, just to kind of secure it in place. Then at PV Mart, I got a hold of this metal stuff. It's in the plumbing department. And I'm thinking if I kind of strap it down and screw this in, then it should secure it and hold it in place. If I had access to a woodworking shop, I maybe would consider building on an additional frame to hold it in, but I'm working with what I got. So if I tape it down, strap it in, screw it down, hopefully this particle board will work with me. So that is what I'm hoping to accomplish today. I don't want to get fingerprints on the glass, so I'm going to be putting gloves on. At the frame shop, we had air blowers, and it was really handy to get all the dust out. You could just spray all the dust out, but you don't want something that'll scratch. And I've already cleaned this with Windex and a paper towel, just to make sure there's no dust particles. blowing with your mouth, you could get moisture, like, and then you'd have little droplets. So I do not recommend that really. And no matter how careful I am and how diligent, there is always a speck remaining taunting me. I also made sure to give my brush a super, super good whack, make sure there was no dust in there. So let's get our mat board dusted off. And I'm not going to do this over the glass in case I brush dust. So I'm just going to do that over here quick. Little sweep. Looks like my mat board has a little smudge on it. That's super disappointing. The mat board could definitely be better, but I'm not going to worry about that. Something that I'm working on is accepting things that aren't perfect. So let's turn it over and see how many specks are left that we have to clean. There's one there. There's one there. There is a cat hair. There is a cat hair. I don't know if you can see that. There's a cat hair. There's another dust particle there. And there's one there. All right. So, let's see if I can get the glass back up there. Also, don't recommend touching the mat board without gloved hands just because you leave oils behind. Uh-oh, I think I just got way more in there doing that. Ah, it haunts me, it haunts me. Okay, let's do it this way. Ah, my glove. Ah. Let's try this again. The glass wasn't the problem. The glass seemed to be okay. It was on the mat board. Maybe I won't use the brush. Just using the glove to kind of wipe it. Okay. It appears as though all of the dust particles, there's one. Okay. See how difficult this is? This is why art takes so long. Okay, ready? That was a big dust chunk. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm not gonna look. Okay, so I'm just bending these down to hold the mat board in place. That one broke out. Okay, so this is the top. So I want to have the top of the motherboard be this way. And this rests on the bottom of the frame. And this lines up like so. So my next step, I am going to tape this down and secure it to the mat board. I have these Christmas lights that I was planning to use so that the lights would shine through the holes, but there's so many of them and there's not enough holes that I think that these lights would be better for something else. Unless I maybe buddied up lights, or if they were all just shining in the background. I'd tape the box on. But I think yeah, I'm gonna use this for something else. All right, let's tape it up. This is a little tricky because it is 3-dimensional. The last time I taped this, I used black electrical tape and I thought it was holding really well until one day it just fell apart. I was sitting there and there's a huge loud noise and it had broke. So I'm just using an X-Acto knife to cut away from myself, just cut a little slit where I can fold the tape down. Make sure to always be safe with this kind of sharp blade. That'd be really funny if I then sliced a big gout. Make sure you're safe, folks. Whoops. Can somebody call an ambulance? Cut that part right off. It's not laying flat very well. Okay, and I'm just kind of pressing it right up against the edge to make sure it's good and sealed in there. Helps to have long nails for this. Imagine you could use some other tool as well. So I'm trying to line up the outside first and then just press it down. I press it down until I run up to the side and then I try to get it all in the crease. Then I decide where I need to make little cuts so that it'll fold down. So far it seems pretty secured. Every time I move my table, it makes that squeaking noise. I'm sorry if that's driving me crazy. It's kind of driving me crazy. Alrighty, maybe I should just block that section off. Even though I'm not sure how well it will secure it. I'm also going to tape down the edges. And I don't want to block that. Not sure if I want to remove it, put something else in. Let's remove it. So I need to go find my hammer. All right, I've decided to use this because it has a hole. I can just hang it using that. I'll have to figure out a way so that this doesn't bump into the wall, and then it will be coming out a bit from the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Whoop! Really gently, of course, because I plan on reusing the materials for something. Put that there for now. So I'm going to just put those and my hammer away, and we'll finish setting up the frame. You hear the helicopter? So let's see if the tape will hold, because that would be great. But I have a feeling once I use this to sort of strap everything in, it will kind of hold on to that so the weight won't be pulling. So to attach this onto here, I have these screws. Let's see if these will work. It's really small, so they won't be going through the frame. So if you hold that up to the edge, you can see you will not be going through. So it will be very lucky if this will take the screw nicely. I think it might. Let's flip it around this way. I think it will be easier. And I have one of these screwdrivers where I can change whichever one I want. So I need to find the square. That is the one. So my screwdriver will be ready. Oops, almost pulled that out again. But I'm first going to mark where I want this. So I want it snug because I'm just going to be kind of holding the motherboard in place. Oh, are those holes too big for my screw? Do I have to use the little hole? No, that will work. Whoa. Before I try to screw that down, I'm just going to go where I marked the location and just kind of push the end of the screw in. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. I don't know if you can see that. You could use an awl or something pokey, but since the screws are kind of short and all pokey, I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in there. Now let's get this screwed in there. It'd probably be really handy to have one of those electric screwdrivers. I don't know why that won't tighten more. Why have you stopped? Also, I have really no idea what I'm doing here. So if you're watching this and thinking, what? Well, you know, I'm just trying to problem solve and figure out a way to get my vision up on the wall. I think maybe because the tape is getting all gunked up in there. Okay. Got that on there. Now I should have used a ruler to make sure that these were even instead of just eyeballing it. But I think I eyeballed it pretty good. What do you think? So this middle hole can be where it hangs. Let's see if it works. Oh, you are kidding me. I don't know if you can see that white speck. There's also the spots on the frame. Oh well. Oh well, it's done. All I can see is the white spot. All I can see is the white spot. All I can see is the red spot. Interesting. All right, well that's looking pretty good. A little bit of a reflection on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this project finished, and I'll see you next time.